Before I even say anything about what I'm finna watch, and most of y'all post like this finna react to this video or this unknown thing, I'm gonna say it. See, that just before we even start this bitch, I hated Margaret. I hated her. And I'm pretty sure everybody else did too. Over this video is why I have a bar cow cow. I hate this bitch. I'm sorry. I'm glad somebody recorded it. Okay, I wasn't the only one. This chick was on her bullshit. I hated Margaret. The entire show, I hated Margaret. That girl gaslit this man every chance she got. And anytime this nigga was in a stable relationship with somebody, she would come and wreck it. I'm telling you. I hate Margaret, bro. I hated her. I hated. Listen, while I say this, I hated Margaret. I hated that bitch. Anyway, we gonna start this off. I don't care if I start it up, bro. I don't care. I'm pretty sure YouTube people watch that show. They all probably gonna say this a thing. We all hated her.
Right where I want to be.
This one moment in regular show is where I truly thought Margaret was going to develop as a character. For all of the seasons of build-up that we got for Margaret in the series, up to this ultimate kiss, Mordecai and Margaret getting together, I thought this was the turning point, because before this, Margaret really wasn't anything. She was just a prize for Mordecai to go after. So I thought this one moment was going to, start changing my opinions on Margaret. They were going to start using her a lot more, but that's not what happened at all. Right after this, she leaves, and she doesn't come back for a long time, and when she does come back, she just makes the entire series worse and leads to Mordecai's downfall as a character. Which is why today I'm going to be taking a look at every single aspect of Margaret throughout the entire series and
Thank you for his name. I was not gonna explain all that shit because why I hate her. You probably gonna tell the moments when you start. Of people who don't know who Margaret is, you're gonna see. Kids that don't hate her. It's for new gen niggas. Y'all don't know who Margaret is, and y'all gonna hate her slowly as a character as you watch this video.
discuss with you why I hate Margaret.
I gotta shave my face.
In the beginning of regular show, there wasn't really a need for a well-developed romantic female character for Mordecai to go after. There wasn't a need for that because season 1 was just complete and utter chaos. They were all fighting the Destroyer of Worlds. Mordecai was drinking unicorn semen. They were doing all of these things that didn't really require a girl to be the main forefront of any story because there was no character that was developed for that. I mean, it was season 1. There wasn't a whole lot going on. So when, you progress the story a little bit, you start learning a little bit about Margaret, and her first appearance was in the episode Caffeinated Concert Tickets, where she is just clearly a prize for Mordecai.
Yeah, cool.
Wait, you're going?
Ruby was the best part of Ruby trying to hype this nigga up and get him actually outside. Nigga, come on. Ask this girl out. They even got Vincent to even give them extra stuff for these tickets. And they got the extra money and was able to get the tickets though. But the messed up part is, I think he gonna say it too. But what happened at the end of this whole episode? During a part at the end of the whole episode, what happens when Margaret does, which is fucked up.
Yeah, I am. I know they're kind of old, but I remember them from when I was a kid.
Yeah, the messed up part is during this first episode when she first appeared, she was toxic. You clearly see the gaslight in her voice when you see this, and basically see her do extra shit, bro. Oh, bro, I'm telling you, this is one of the characters. This is one of the first ever female characters I watched and really truly hated as a character. I'm telling you, I watch movies, I watch TV shows. I hated her. And every time when I was a kid, I was rooting for when one of her actually was able to meet with her. only for her to go and leave every chance this nigga try to get with her. Even when he did end up together with this chick. Her family is crazy. But I think her dad is cool as hell. Her dad is cool. You know me, her dad. I think her dad probably inside this conversation of why this dude hated me and everybody else hates her. I like the video too, just cause of the title alone. But I think mostly he's gonna show her dad. Her dad was cool because I think he was just trying to push the limits of how far Mordecai would go, of how any other dad would try. But he was actually cool. I like her dad, and her mom is kind of cool as well. But I'm pretty sure Margaret.
Besides, everyone is gonna be there. It's gonna be fun. Are you guys gonna go?
I'm totally gonna go.
Mordecai, is starting it off being a simp really strong, where he hates Fist Pump, he doesn't want to go to Fist Pump, until eventually he learns that Margaret also wants to go. He switches up right away and wants to do anything he possibly can to go to that concert, just to potentially...
Okay, he liked Fist Pump, like the music they did, but he doesn't want to go to the concert. I think this man doesn't even want to go to this concert until she says she's gonna go. She never told this nigga that she had someone, she gonna take somebody with her. So he thinking, oh, she going by herself. I can live with tickets and go with her. Never told this man she was going with somebody else.
Out with Margaret, and we get the entire coffee episode, which is phenomenal and spawns because of Margaret, which is great. She's just a trophy that leads to a really great episode. But towards the end of the episode, we get to our first reoccurrence of Margaret in the very early seasons, which is just her her catchphrase, Mordecai, you want to meet my boyfriend Slasher ass face?
Hey, Mordecai.
Hey, Margaret, fist pump.
Mordecai, you have to meet my boyfriend Slasher. Hey, Slasher, that's my friend Mordecai.
Yeah, that's pretty much...
I forgot that nigga name was Slasher. I'm telling you, niggas, you didn't tell this nigga nothing about what happened to me. And the thing was, every time Mordecai saw Margaret, she was either dating some dude, or her actually with nobody, just gaslight this nigga. I'm telling you, niggas hated her. And there was a point in the thing where she had a cousin. Didn't tell this man Mordecai until later on in the episode that was her cousin. And they weren't like that. Oh my god, no! A camera. Alright, I'm gonna have it like this. This is like a salad. This. Watch. Boom. Now y'all know I'm gonna try to do the San Andreas, the DJ San Andreas videos again, or because I've been lacking off on YouTube. I'm gonna try and do it with what's up? You need me to take the trash out?
Who are you talking to?
I'm recording a video.
Again. What?
That's how I'm recording the video. Yeah, I keep trying to jump on people.
He's bored.
I know he's bored.
All she does, and towards the beginning of the show, she doesn't really have any goals, she doesn't really show any character traits, she doesn't really show anything interesting even remotely about her. So what am I supposed to enjoy about this character in the beginning? I completely understand Mordecai's desire to want to be with a girl, but that's pretty much it. There's no trait that makes me feel like Margaret is cool or interesting, or help me to understand why Mordecai actually wants to be with Margaret. There's nothing there that makes Margaret interesting at all. She is genuinely just a prize in the first season. And she only appears 4 times in the season anyway, and I get it's a short season, so she's there for a third of the time, but again, she just really isn't doing a whole lot. She appears in caffeinated concert tickets, she appears in a dream memory in Meet Your Maker, which is just Buff Mordecai dancing with, Bikini Margaret, and then we get Boner Rigby popping up and just ruining the entire dream.
Oh, Mordecai.
Oh, Margaret.
Mordecai, I'm gonna...
But again, you don't learn anything about Margaret from here. It's just a little dream, a little illusion, and Mordecai's hopes of being with her. Again,
And that whole episode wasn't even about that. It was about the fact that Rigby kept trying to fix stuff. And then man Wolf ended up killing that nigga. Bro, that was a full thing to kill somebody who was a chick. And he pushed that nigga off the thing. He had to get mad. He forced his best friend to die. Bro, I was like, no, you even killed your mans over a chick. You get your day one over a girl. And here's the part. Just stuff like that happens in real life. Dudes will off their best friend. They day one. When they ain't had nothing to when they had something. Dude was there for when you had nothing till we had something. And they will off them over a chick. Dog. And the best part, I bet the best friend most likely we don't understand dog. It's just a girl. Chillax. And most of the time it's the other dude who gets mad. Get mad. Seeing doing it just the girl. No, I'm pretty sure that's just a chick that's gonna end up with another dude that's gonna break your heart. Man, if you kill me over that, you want something, dog. Oh, your day one, you gonna kill me over a girl? Now, if you were bad or something, I could understand a little bit, but you still was gonna off me over the fact of a girl. I'm like, oh no, cause I ain't gonna have that. Especially if you my best friend. Why the heck would I go that far if you just a friend to me? If you going that far over a chick you just met, thinking she's gonna be your forever. Then when she break your heart, and I'm not there to help you out during that hard time, but I'm not there to help lift you up. If you wanna get mad at me or effective, I'm telling you this girl's gonna fuck you up. What's gonna happen? You gonna sit there depressed as heck. Nobody support you because you just lost your day one, and everybody else could be riding your meat, and you know that he is. You gonna end up making the wrong decisions. You gonna end up making the wrong choices. And the other part, Rigby was this man's day one. He was trying to do to help him get with Margaret. That's the thing. There was an episode of Rigby trying to make Mordecai jealous and trying to push him towards getting with Margaret, like trying to get this nigga out his shit. Like, he still decided, and still was a bit falling in the bag, but mostly the fact of, girl, you know this man is feeling after you. It's plainly obvious, and everybody here knows. Eileen knows. Everybody in the park this man work with knows. I'm pretty sure you also know this man is trying to come at you, going after you. And the fact of it is, Margaret still proceeded to ruin it. Any chances of these niggas getting together. And that made so many fans know that we had all that hype and all that stuff for the fact that you still didn't end up with this nigga.
that is still all she is. And then she's in The Unicorns Have Got to Go, where Mordecai is just there to lay it down, and Margaret just walks away. Again, nothing very interesting about her character. And then you go all the way to the season finale, Mordecai and the Rigbys, and Mordecai is jamming, rocking out, just trying to look really cool for Margaret, and eventually he learns that he's not even actually remotely playing the song, so he destroys his guitar pick, and Margaret does, you know, her favorite thing. Mordecai! Mordecai! Have you met my boyfriend, Honeydew? Or whatever that guy's name was.
Mordecai! Mordecai!
Margaret! Margaret!
Mordecai!
Margaret!
That was pretty cool what you set up there.
Thanks, Margaret.
Oh, hey, have you met my new boyfriend, Angel?
Yeah, there's just nothing about Margaret in the first season that would make you, like, grab.
Complete hoe, by the way. This girl was a complete hoe, by the way. I'm telling you. Girl was a complete hoe. Nobody can tell me that girl was a... When was this was made on July 8th. It was a month ago. Yeah, it was a month ago when it was made. I'm pretty sure you're gonna see how reaction to it. I hope they do. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people need to react to this. I'm telling you, yo. This thing, oh my god, this made me so mad. Dog. She was a full-fledged hoe. I'm sorry to say. I'm sorry. Yeah, that girl was a hoe. She was going from good in every episode. I'm sorry. Every time you seen Margaret, she was going to dude. And it wasn't even funny at that point. Yes, man. And this man still being a simp. Hold on, I'm gonna go put this in the refrigerator. This man, what I was still a damn simp. That whole thing for it.
Gravitate towards her, like her as a character. She doesn't have a single interesting trait that makes her a good character. And so, yeah, in the beginning, Margaret really was just nothing. There was nothing to enjoy, nothing going on, and that's why, towards the beginning, she is genuinely just a prize, and I just can't enjoy her.
No.
No second guesses. I wear what I want. I barely wear dresses. I gotta be me. I gotta be me.
Oh, here we go.
Now I want to dive a little
This.
more heavily into the fact that Margaret genuinely doesn't have a character, because even if we go past season 1, she doesn't really change. None of her interests are actually shown. If Margaret is your favorite character, can you tell me why? Can you tell me one of her hobbies, one of the things that she actually likes? No, you're gonna be all like,
Tell me one thing about Margaret, bro. Tell me one thing you know about the fact that she was hoeing around. You couldn't tell me nothing. The fact she was manipulative, hoeing niggas around, fucking up this nigga relationship. This man could have had a stable relationship. But that little cloud girl, who he ended up actually cooling with, and actually had serious marriage with, and it was cool together. Until she suddenly popped up, ruined that man's whole relationship. I think her name was CJ. Yeah, I think it was CJ. They could have ended up a whole good relationship together. But CJ, I think, sort of could tell that them two, that they still had history together that needed to be solved. So she just dislodged herself from that situation. Which, that's what I liked about CJ. Okay. But Margaret had no reason to be constantly inside this nigga life. I'm sorry, she had nothing. Margaret was just a character in the background that did not even fucking exist. She had no reason to exist at all on that show, aside from to piss everybody off. And I think, ironically, they don't even end up together in the end of the show. They just end up as good friends. Because that girl is basically, how do I put that? She's not a woman. They're called most girls that would hop around looking for her daddy and stuff like that. Her dad is in her life. He's just a Navy dude. He is in her life. You've seen her. Like, most times he would come home to his family for a few days and head back out for marine work. Then comes back. I didn't remember he's a marine pilot. As I said, I like her father and her mama. They both co-characters. You even meet Mordecai's mom, who is cool with him. You know, and I think I remember she's cool with him and Margaret. I'm like, dog. Everybody was hoping them two got together, and they didn't. And it took until this man brought a sweater. I think he'll say the same thing until he brought a sweater to this girl that he realized, yeah, he had to let that go. And Rebbe kept telling him, Mordecai, let it go. It's just a sweater. He was so persistent on bringing this girl her sweater back. Like, nigga, she is in college. That woman's getting beat down from left to right, I'm pretty sure. While studying, too. It was to get graduate from college. I'm pretty sure she good. This girl was working. And she had a friend working with her. Not only that, she moved from dude to dude like a motherfucker. And then she couldn't even do one thing for this dude. When he said he was there to kiss her, instead of kissing her, he was like, "Good luck, diaper boy." If y'all can only see that anger in my fucking eyes, I'm like shit, I know. But if y'all can see the anger and how much I mean mugging scream and how fucked up that was. So instead of you just kissing this nigga and helping him with this damn bet, you proceeded to basically hold him and make him what diaper while on the fucking lawn. And this nigga Mordecai, like a dumbass, proceeded to say, "Oh, I still got a chance for her because she was still about to kiss me." My nigga, that bitch for the streets. I'm sorry, my nigga, she for the streets. Let her go. I'm sorry. Please let that go.
Well, she works at the coffee shop, she went to school, and, okay, she became a newscaster. Yeah, that's great. But none of that actually makes her a character that you could relate to in any good way. Because there's not a single time in the series where you could be all like, oh wow, that was really relatable. And a big thing that regular show has is making its characters be relatable, be funny. You could attach yourself to one of the characters and find them.
This is the character everybody like Pops, Skips, Muscle Man, and Ricky. Barely anybody relate themselves to Mordecai if they didn't say, "Oh, that's like my Mordecai acts like my older brother." That's who they most likely say Mordecai acts like or resembles to, because he treats Remy like that's his little brother. Because he's always messing up and getting him into trouble, but in the end they end up bailing themselves out with the help of Mordecai helps him, and basically helps him pay him about it. There's even an episode where Rigby has an out on his brother because of the fact that he didn't like the fact that his brother was more liked than him. And that was his little brother. That wasn't his big brother. That was his little brother. He didn't like the fact that his little brother was more like him. But he couldn't accept the fact he couldn't give his brother a hug at all. But that's the thing. That's all his brother wanted. He wanted him to give him a hug, to acknowledge him, to love him. His brother was even there. The brother was even there for him. He needed him to. Needed him to. Good King. Well, he needed him to basically help him with school. Yeah, that's what he needed him there. What's up? What's up, King? What's up? Big baby. No, King. Look at you. No, not you two Jacks. No. No. Y'all too. I'm really scratching too. I think it's fur. Fuck that. You big baby. What's wrong with you? No, you ain't finna lick me in my mouth. No, Jax, you got a problem with trying to hop at me. Oh, now he in my bed. Alright, you down. Come on, you down. Good boy. No, Jax. Oh, come on. King, don't you be jealous. Jax, move your big black butt. Oh, come on now. I'm gonna get a video of y'all two over here messing. Move. Come on, move. Jax, King. Move. Alright. Move. Move over here, Jax. Oh, don't start looking at me. Come on, let's get you down. Good boy.
funny because you relate to the things that they're going through, even if it is all this chaos going around. But with Margaret, there was never a moment in the series unless like, hey, wow, she wants to go to school, I want to go to school. Yeah, there was never a moment where like she is given the time to tell a joke, to go through something, where it feels like it's relatable and enjoyable, especially in the beginning of the series. There's no moment like that. Going into season 2 and season 3, yes, we shy away from Mordecai, meet my boyfriend, but it's still heavily implied that those things are still going on. They just don't do it in a way where they are telling the same exact joke. I mean, in the
I'm telling you, this girl with a new boyfriend every time Mordecai seen this chick. Every time. And Ricky even tried telling him, dog, you need to find a new girl. And he kept going after this chick. I'm talking about 24/7 going after this girl. Until the fact that he couldn't go after her no more. And when he bought a fucking sweater, that's when you realize it, nigga. I'm like, and this shit came out from college.
First episode of season 2, it's time. Margaret is literally just a prize once again, but for Rigby and for Mordecai, because Rigby is salty that Mordecai won't go to the movie that he wants to go to, so Rigby asks Margaret out, and Margaret says yes.
Just wanted to ask you if you want to, I mean, obviously you don't have to, but,
Margaret, want to see something cool? Bam! 2 tickets to the zombie dinner party premiere. Want to go with me tonight?
You actually got tickets?
That's the thing. You could actually like Rigby because he was doing it to push Mordecai to basically ask, and Mordecai wouldn't do it. He kept saying, Mordecai, do it. And he had to do this to make him jealous, to force his nigga just to ask, bro.
Yeah, I'll totally go with you tonight.
Which leads to a big divide in a horrible episode, in my opinion, where Mordecai and Rigby are just at each other's throats the entire time. Rigby is just shoving it in Mordecai's face that he's going to go and tongue Margaret tonight, which leads to Mordecai literally killing him, and you can't lie, Rigby was definitely asking for it, but it's just a very bad episode, and it all spawns from Margaret, so what am I supposed to enjoy here? And then going into, like, further into season 2, she doesn't really do anything, and when she does, it's awful. In Peeps, she's just in the background. In It's High Score, she's just in the background. And then you go into Do Me a Solid, which I think is one of her like most annoying episodes, at least to me, because the entire time she's going on this date with Mordecai, and yes, it's just a double date, and it's very implied that Mordecai is super into her. I mean, the entire time he's simping over her, he's making her trophies, he's flirting with her the whole time, and apparently Margaret was just there for a solid to Eileen, and she canceled a date for that. It's just a different version of Mordecai.
I want you to hear this again when he says this. Go back so y'all can hear this.
Most annoying episodes, at least to me, because the entire time she's going on this date with Mordecai, and yes, it's just a double date, and it's very implied that Mordecai is super into her. I mean, the entire time he's simping over her, he's making her trophies, he's flirting with her the whole time, and apparently Margaret was just there for a solid to Eileen, and she canceled a date for that. It's just a
Right fucking now. This girl was already finna go on a date before this. As I said, and every time you see Margaret, she switched from boyfriend to boyfriend to boyfriend. You can't say I'm wrong. Every time she went from boyfriend to boyfriend to boyfriend. Nigga, when I was a kid, I thought, oh, that was messed up. She gonna do with Mordecai. She messed up with that. I'm looking back on this. That girl was a whore. That girl was a whore. I'm sorry, I don't care. Yeah, and YouTube can tell it too. That girl was around the block. Everybody knew that chick. I'm sorry. At some point, I'm pretty sure Mordecai can even take a girl. You was around the block. I'm sorry, it's true. You was so much around the block, it was a shame. Bro.
different version of Mordecai, me, my...
This was because Eileen wanted to get with Rigby. The secret part about this was Rigby was acting basically nonchalant, not showing any type of interest in Eileen, when he clearly was interested in her secretly the entire time. He was cool with her, and even secretly liked every aspect about Eileen. How the fact that she took care of sea turtles, how she was nerdy and geek and stuff like. He was cool with all that. That's how cool he was. was with this young girl. He actually secretly he did not want anybody else to know this. Also, he didn't want great. Also, didn't want anybody else to know the fact of he was with that he and Eileen was secretly meeting up, going out on these other things. Pause the thing, check on my dog. That whole thing with Rigby is the fact of you understand why Rigby wanted to hide it. He kept saying, "Oh, he didn't like how he didn't like me." Then you find out during the things, him and Eileen were secretly hooking up on dates. It's behind everybody's back, and none of them knew. And that's the him and Eileen both agreed. She even agreed to this because she actually was in love. The two actually was in love with each other, and they kept that secret relationship. They didn't tell nobody this until later on. Eileen and Rigby basically, where it would think it was revealed that him and Eileen was secretly dating. That was funny as hell. Oh, it's funny about that.
Boyfriend, where Margaret actually is there the entire episode but doesn't develop anything meaningful with Mordecai. She is literally just there out of obligation and doesn't even actually want to be there.
That's what friends are for. They come through for each other when they need it most.
Friends, you see me flame of the heartache in my soul. When I heard that, come on, my dog, we could have said anything else but friends. So I did not like this about what you were seeing it, but it's like she did not like you though. I'm pretty sure that was a whole flag right there to let you know not to be in there, girl. I'm sorry. You should have put that red flag up immediately. She did not want to be around you, little bro. I'm sorry.
Wow, I guess I never thought of it that way before.
Margaret does solids for me all the time.
Yeah! Like tonight I broke a date so Eileen could go out with Rigby.
Wait, you're only here because you're doing Eileen a solid?
I'm about to give my mom the surprise of her life. Let's see if she forgives me.
Mother, where are you?
I'm in the closet.
Which is
And then I forgot that they revealed that she did a solid. You can hear the hurt in that nigga Mordecai's voice when he found out she didn't even want to be there the entire time. Dog, that sucks bad. Oh.
hey, I guess. I mean, you don't have to want to do things, but it doesn't make it enjoyable, for me at least. And then for the entire rest of season 2, doesn't do anything. She gets a couple of moments here and there where she gets to speak, she gets to talk, but she doesn't do anything. That's it for season 2. There was no moment in season 2 even where Margaret was developed as a interesting character. And then going into season 3, yes, they start building Mordecai and Margaret's relationship up a little bit, but there's still no moment in the entire season, even though this relationship is being built, where it points to Margaret's character.
And I think I remember that solid he did was basically he was supposed to that was a solid because a solid has to be done. Basically, in the regular show, if you don't do a solid, it's very consequential. So you have to do this solid. If he said, if really solid was Mordecai was supposed to go in the middle of the floor, basically, and take a dump. That was what he was, that was the dare was. And I'm pretty sure all of them can see it. Mordecai, the only one could do it. He was supposed to go in the middle of the thing and basically take a dump in the middle of the floor. That was so messed up. And not the fact of, I think Raby didn't want to tell him to do it in front of them, but I think he was telling him just to do it as a solid. I think Mordecai could have waited till the girls actually left the house for him to complete that solid. Like, I'm gonna even click that. That's so dumb.
Sure, there is not a single moment where I don't look at Margaret as the same exact girl from season 1 and season 2 who was just dating around, not saying anything about herself, and just
said it was so good. This girl was dating around.
being like, Mordecai, what's up, dude? Yeah, you like want to hang out? Yeah, Margaret, do you like movies? Like, yeah, I guess. What kind of movies do you like? Yeah, I guess I like movies. Yeah, that's basically her personality. There is nothing that I could say that Margaret likes, that she enjoys, and that just honestly sucks.
Oh yes, this. Now I'm gonna tell you this. It's not that I don't like slow build, like a slow build romance. It's okay if you have a slow build romance, but you have anything this slow build, you need to get off the face of the planet. If you ever have a slow build romance this slow, and this is like years of them working at the basically the park. Cause Reggie got this job without getting a high school diploma or GED or anything. He just got this much. It's because his friend got it, and I think Mordecai recommended him to be a good person, and they got the job and started basically working and living at the park. That was what their main thing was. They worked and lived at the park. This was their whole This is where they slept, where they ate, all that stuff. If I remember, Pops lives there. Skips lives like in the park area as the person you call to repair stuff. I think most of them is the dude you call in case you need help lifting shit up and stuff like that because he's strong as hell. Or if you need him to throw a party, he's there. What else do I know? If I remember correctly, Benson was the manager. Pops was the fun dude, the fun childish dude who was the son of Benson's boss, and he was also he was in charge of Benson, but Pops is just like the coolest character. Oh yeah, damn. Oh yeah, Pops was the coolest character out of all the niggas. I'm sorry. Everybody loves Pops. That man was so randomly funny. And then when he got serious, he was like, "Oh shit, Pops getting into them hoes." And then I remember that episode when Mordecai saw that when Pops naked, and he went on the whole thing and trying to forget Pops. Bro, that was so funny.
Despite being the most bland 2D character in the entire show, I will say that her relationship with Mordecai, once they actually start cooking, once they actually start running with it and actually start building up to it, instead of Margaret just being like, oh yeah, I wanted to go on a date with this guy, but I'm stuck here. And once they actually dive away from that and just start, hinting at the fact that they're going to get together, start actually having them have genuine hangouts, then I could actually really enjoy it. I think it's great. I think everything that they do with the slow build to it, with Margaret shying away from the fact that she just hates all men, or she's constantly dating a guy.
Hold on now. He finna hit y'all. Now he's saying this, but watch what he finna hit y'all with that y'all gonna really realize. And this is for the new gen people. This is for the people who hasn't ever watched the regular show. But people who have, come and say, "Oh, I know," you talk about stuff like that. Y'all can see all this stuff and say what y'all think about it. For people who has never watched regular show, please, when I say this, go watch it and you'll see each moment of whenever Margaret's on screen, you'll hate her.
Actually makes for some really good episodes. Camping Can Be Cool is one of my favorite episodes in the entire series, and it's just a episode where Mordecai, Margaret, Eileen, and Rigby all go camping together, and they're just vibing, having a good time. Yes, the episode gets a little crazy when the stag, the deer man, comes at the end and causes a little bit of chaos and almost kills.
I think if I remember correctly, this was still another secret date for Mordecai and not for Rigby and Eileen. Rigby and Eileen was secretly dating. It's so messed up. The messed up part I think about Margaret and Mordecai's relationship, people started making Will Twilight Sparkle and Mordecai be together? That was the weirdest shit I've ever seen, bro. I swear, it's so weird.
Them all, but everything up to that is just really good building of romance.
If I remember correctly, the dude Twilight Sparkle ends up with is the guard dude who was basically the same dude as the human dude with the blue hair, but he was a guard in her in the palace, and those two end up together. I think she also knows that that's the same dude who is a human, but he's a pony in that world.
Mordecai and Margaret, a slow, nice build, cooking them on the fire, you know, just turning that pig just a little bit to where they're just sitting on the car, looking at the stars, listening to music, and talking about their lives.
It's different.
I just can't wait until I can finally quit my dumb job.
Oh, what? Then where will I get my coffee from?
The coffee will still be there.
Yeah, it just wouldn't be the same.
Do we get anything interesting out of Margaret as a character here other than, guys are the worst right now? No, she talks a little bit about the potential future of going to school, but hey.
Let's go!
Future of going to school, but hey, I'll take it. We're actually getting a moment where Margaret is getting to talk in the series and actually develop as a character with Mordecai. But the main problem I have with this is now her character is just intertwined with Mordecai, because every single other interaction that she's going to have in the rest of Season 3 and Season 4 is all going to be tied to her relationship with Mordecai. There aren't really, you know, segmented moments, except for maybe her reactions to things that Mordecai is doing that give her her own, you know, characteristic, her own desires. It's all in relation to Mordecai, which when you take into perspective Eileen, for example, in her relationship to Rigby, Eileen was developed right away into a interesting person. She was into gaming, she was smart, she knew astronomy. You could tell right away that Eileen actually had things that she enjoyed other than just the fact that she was with Mordecai. Margaret doesn't have that. She doesn't have a single moment in the series where you could look at something and be like, wow, Margaret is really into this, and that might be why Mordecai likes her. But we don't get moments like that. The only thing that I could genuinely say that Mordecai would like about Margaret is the fact that she is a red bird. That is the only thing that we really get from her character. But that doesn't mean that the build to the relationship is bad. I actually enjoy it, especially on rewatch. I think it's fine for the most part. I think it's enjoyable until, you know, it gets really, really bad later on. But the things that we do get from it, I think are a lot of fun. Camping can be cool, as said before, is really good. And then, you know, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, we go to cruising, which I can't really tell if Margaret was doing it because she actually wanted to go on a date with those guys, or if it was just to make Mordecai and Rigby feel more tense for the bet, because the bet was all about if Mordecai and Rigby can't get a girl's phone number, then they have to pay for Margaret and Eileen's dinner, and Margaret and Eileen invite dudes.
Hey! This guy's bothering you, Margaret. How about you, Eileen?
Oh, no. Mordecai, Chad Iron Chest.
Rigby, Tuck Packard.
And I feel like that was probably Margaret's idea, but I don't know if that was actually her intention, so I'm not going to take that away from her. And then just going later on...
Eileen was a cool character. I feel like Eileen didn't actually like that guy. I think she was just building up the fact of her and Rigby was going to end up together.
We actually get some really good episodes for their like build in the relationship, like Access Denied, for example, where Mordecai and Rigby are just trying to get into this dance.
My phone's dark as hell. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna turn the brightness on it so y'all can see better. And I'm gonna turn the sound on my shit. Yeah, I can see better now.
Club so that Mordecai can dance with Margaret, and they actually dance together at the end of the episode. I think it's wholesome.
So, how about that dance?
Oh, okay.
I think it's sweet. I think it's great. And then Death Bear is also just a phenomenal episode just to have them talking. There's many moments in this episode where you genuinely wonder, are they going to kiss right now? Are they gonna smooch? Are they gonna smooch it up? Because you genuinely have those moments where it feels like they're actually bonding, they're connecting.
So, where are we going?
Conductor, take us somewhere exotic, please, and mind the bumps. My lady does not like getting ill. Thank you.
Margaret's not really saying anything, you know, interesting about herself, but it feels like they're connecting as people, and you can genuinely wonder.
My first time when I seen it, I was like, they might smash. I'm like, yeah. I'm my first time going, man. My son about to get some until everything that happened in that episode.
They're going to get together. And then Bad Kiss, a phenomenal episode where Mordecai has bad breath when he finally kisses Margaret for the very first time.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I shouldn't.
No, it's fine. It's just
What?
your breath is really bad.
Ugh.
And this leads to him going on a whole entire journey where he has to travel back in the past and stop this from ever happening and stop him from ever kissing Margaret in the first place. So, all that groundwork is here now. The next season, you could just develop that relationship and they could finally...
And that was the thing. I don't remember if he was supposed to stop it from happening. I think he told himself, just brush his fucking teeth or put on some mints and it was gonna help. Cause I think he tried to take the place of his other self to kiss her.
That's what you'd hope. That's
I
what
know
you'd
he
hope.
getting paid for it. I just watched it. And then that.
Going into season 4, we just get more of that sweet, succulent build.
Bro, I'm telling y'all, I actually like this episode that he playing. This episode was cool because they showed them old cool ass dances. And then, if I remember correctly, the reason why them dudes was dead and they were stuck there is because, if I remember correctly, the girl that was supposed to go there for the thing they was having for to get sent off to college was, and then I think if I remember, they danced themselves so much that they died. And this was also Mordecai's way of trying to send homegirl away because she was going to college too.
The show to their relationship finally forming with Mordecai setting up for a big party because Margaret is going to be going away in the episode TGI Tuesday. Phenomenal episode. At the end, they have to dance battle with some ghosts, and Mordecai gets to dance with Margaret where she says she's not going anywhere.
Huh?
This was cinema. Bro, this was so funny.
Man, we should have started partying on Tuesdays years ago.
And these are the moments where it hints to the fact that Margaret might be going away, but it never really expresses that enough to you. There's hints throughout this entire season that Margaret is going to be leaving, but you never get that moment where Margaret is talking about it in a really good way. That actually makes her seem like she has these dreams and aspirations to make you relate to her character. There were so many chances in this season to just give us that one-minute segment where Margaret talks about her future that actually makes her seem like a relatable person, but that never happened.
Never explained what she was going to do at college. Never explained the fact of why she was leaving, or the fact of why she was going to this specific college if they have if they had a university or something in their own town. So her and this nigga could stay together. Then not only that, this nigga, I think this is the scene. This is the same. I think they even talk about when Mordecai really traveled all that distance for a goddamn sweater after Rigby kept telling him, dude, let it go.
It keeps on being a slow build with like the episode Do or Diaper, where they finally go on an actual date, but Mordecai just starts going
Down. Oh, I think this was the one. I said the wrong one. This is the thing when this nigga was down in the mental, like he was down in all the mint type stuff that was in his bag. Like they was water, bro. He was down in them piece by piece. I'm telling you, look at him. Down in them.
Yeah, it just turns into a frozen wonderland, and he ends up being in a diaper because Margaret fake out kisses him, and Mordecai doesn't get it.
Bro, this was the craziest thing ever. That man was down in the bugs, bro. He was down in them things like they was Eminem. Like he was just, like going at each one with flaws, with anything that was mint. Ice to make it smell minty fresh. he kept downing them until the point where everything turned froze because of how much he was downing it. And Whippy kept telling him, dude, stop. And he was saying, and Mordecai said, no, it ain't enough. And he kept taking more, more, and his belt kept getting cooler and cooler. And Whippy was saying, dude, that's enough. You took it enough. You need to stop. Mordecai kept telling him, no, it's not enough. And he kept going until it was too late. Everything turned cold, nigga. I was like, ain't no way this man made everything freeze. And then there's segments inside of regular where you find out, why the heck does these niggas have full-fledged beards while everyone else doesn't? How's that even possible? That meant during their time, while we were watching that, time and space for them was moving fast or was long as heck. They was trying to get back to them, while to them, they was only gone for a few days and was high off a tree bark. Apparently, these niggas ate tree bark, got lit as freaking, ate everything they could, and got sick as hell. Bruh. They ate tree. When they ate that tree, I swear they got lit off fireworks. I'm telling you, no way. Bro, that was the funniest episode.
Kiss by the end of the bed, so he's in a diaper.
Have a nice week, diaper boy.
Okay, just lots of good moments like that. And then we go to the episode Picking Up Margaret, where Mordecai is taking Margaret to the airport because she's going away, and at the end of this episode, they finally kiss. But apparently that kiss didn't mean anything because it was a goodbye kiss.
See ya.
Which brings us into Meteor Moves, where Rigby is yelling, "Friend zone! Friend zone!" Because Mordecai just won't man up and finally kiss her. He has everything there. All of the building blocks have finally been laid, and he finally does it. All it took was him
Dude, this man, Rigby, I'm telling you, during the entire show, Rigby was trying to help this nigga. And now he was telling him, just find another girl. This man was trying to help this man get with her too. I mean, pushing it.
imprisoned in the sky in the literal friend zone for him to finally actually kiss Margaret.
I think even during this thing, Rigby and Eileen was still, I think, secretly dating, going out with one another.
Not gonna lie, man, you wanna stay fresh on the court? You gotta get with the exercise ball.
You can tell that I make it look easy. It's a cheat code.
This next look cool in the fact of...
And he does. And they're together. And you think that's going to be smooth sailing from here on.
Hell no.
But as I've said before, there were hints of the fact that Margaret was going away. And the way that they decided to play this out, I just can't enjoy even remotely, because again, there was no moment where I could understand where Margaret is coming from. There's no moment that gave her the chance to actually explain herself, to explain her dreams, to explain her desires, and actually make her seem like a good character. No. They finally get together. We get the episode Family BBQ, which is a great episode where Mordecai goes and meets her dad, actually becomes the first dude that her dad actually ever liked.
God, that was cool. Fuck, I ain't gonna hold you, nigga. That was cool. I ain't gonna hold you. That man was fire. Her dad was cool. Her dad was cool as heck. I ain't gonna hold you. That man was awesome.
Which is pointing in the obvious direction that they're going to stay together because this is an extremely positive relationship. It's great. It's good. Everything's going well. They do a man in ball contest. It's going so good. And then we don't get another relationship episode after that. In just a solid 4 or 5 episodes later, we get this season finale, Stake Me Amadeus, where Margaret ends it all.
I got into my dream school. I really like you, Mordecai, and what we have is special. But I may never get this opportunity again. I'm sorry, but I can't be your girlfriend.
What did I say? Remember what I said? They did all that shit. This nigga end up with her. Only for her and him. not to even get together. I think he's also gonna talk about the manipulation shit she would do. How every time when he gets it, like in a good relationship, she would suddenly come back. This man about to move. It was not just that. I think it was one time about to go to with CJ. I think there are other times when he's trying to move on. It's almost there, and then she suddenly comes back and brings it all over again. And I think Ruby even called him out on it, saying, "Dude, every time Margaret comes back, you act like this. You keep going back to your old ways. You keep changing yourself because every time she comes back, you switch back to your old self. Even as you build yourself back up, every time she comes back, go back down." Rigby kept calling him out on this. And Margaret said, "Oh, there's nothing different on him." Dog, everybody was noticing every time when she came back, when he's on the peak of building himself, she would skyrocket this nigga back down. I'm talking, it was so dumb.
She says that she can't be Mordecai's girlfriend because she is going to school. She got into her dream school, and Mordecai is left absolutely shattered because of this. And my biggest problem with this, I mean, one, you have the lack of any character development for Margaret to actually make her seem like a good character, but just the entire build of her potentially going to school was never given any time to shine, so I was never able to understand that this might happen.
Episode I ever watched of regular show before I got back into watching it and seeing everything afterwards. Because that man Rigby helped this man get back himself. That man Rigby got that man back out dating and all the rest of that stuff. I'll tell you, I think he's about to talk about it too. The thing that happened with CJ.
And you just get one of our main characters to be so happy, so excited to finally get something that's been brewing for 4 seasons, just for it to end within 5 episodes. I would have loved if this relationship started more towards the beginning of season 4, and we actually got to see it build up. We got to see Mordecai come together, because even their breakup, it feels rushed, it feels fast, and it just feels like a reset to the status quo, and it just doesn't feel good to me. Margaret finally got with him, gave him a chance, and then shut him out right away. And I'm not trying to demonize her for going to school, but that's how the series paints it. It just paints Margaret as a bad person for wanting to go and do all this after 4 seasons of Mordecai clearly wanting to be with her, all of this buildup, and then being with the dude for only 2 weeks when the entire season you've known you potentially might go to school. You take this guy.
Rigby was a real nigga for coming. He was like, "Dog, you good?" Like, he really came and ticked on him. Boy, just sat with that man, giving him a soda, was chilling. Because, dog, that is for the person you built up to date and dated for 5 episodes. I think that was about like 2 or 3 months to them. And basically, she left that nigga afterwards. And that was the part where he actually was cool with her dad. And I think I think she already met his mom, but I think it was CJ who met his mom. But that was the whole messed up thing I have ever seen. She really came back when him and CJ was really about to be like really like that and ruin the whole relationship between these two. Cause I think CJ even told Monica he needed to find his own priorities in life about what was going on. I'm like, dog. That was on fucked up shit.
To go and meet your parents, and your dad actually likes the first ever dude that you brought around the house, and then you just end it right after that. And I just don't like her for that. Yes, it's regular show. Yes, the relationships aren't the main story here. But when you spend so many different episodes building up this relationship just for it to end like this, it really just puts a sour taste in my mouth for that character that I still, 4 seasons in, know nothing about. I don't know anything about Margaret in season 4. I haven't learned a single thing about her. What am I supposed to like about her? All I know is she used to date a bunch of guys, she didn't want to date Mordecai, and when she finally does give in, dates Mordecai, she dumps him a mere 2 weeks later, man. How am I supposed to like her? How am I not supposed to demonize her? A mere 2 weeks later, man. How am I supposed to like her? How am I not supposed to demonize her?
He's seen everything. He said, "Oh Yes.
And just like that, Margaret was gone. She was out of the show for an entire season. And one of the main things that I left out when I was talking about the build to Mordecai and Margaret's relationship was the episode Yes Dude Yes. And I left this out for one main reason, and that's because season 5 was all about CJ. You could basically say that it was the CJ season because the majority of that season is spent building the relationship with Mordecai, with episodes like New Year's Kiss, I Like You High, Dodge This, Portable Toilet.
That's the thing, him and CJ was so fucking good as a relationship together. And everybody kept saying their relationship was so good. But the fact of when she came back and did that bull, oh yeah, she knew what she was doing. She was trying to check to see if Mordecai was still gonna be a simp for her. I wasn't dumb. Remember what advice gonna say when they see this. We know
Real Date, Play Date, all of these episodes devoted to CJ. And in Yes Dude Yes, this was the one episode that I was watching when I was even a kid, and I was looking at this character CJ and just watching everything that she did with Mordecai, all the stuff that they went out and did, and I was like, wow, immediately, this character is so much better for Mordecai in every single way.
So I have these 2 tickets to see Lovebot 2 tomorrow. What?
Yeah, I'd love to go to the movies with you.
Oh, yeah, great. I didn't want him to go to waste. I mean, I don't know how good it'll be, but...
Are you kidding? Hold me so I can learn to love. Hold me.
Margaret never even showed a single interest in anything that Mordecai was doing. She was always just there. CJ actually seems like she wants to go and eat grilled cheese sandwiches. She wants to play air hockey. She's good at it. She wants to do all of these things that actually give her a character. And immediately in season 3, Yes Dude Yes, I thought that CJ should have replaced Margaret because she actually seemed like a fun, interesting character. In one episode, she did more than Margaret ever did in the entire series. So that's why in season 5, we get that episode Laundry Woes where Mordecai's all like, oh, Margaret.
Don't do it!
Sniff that!
Dude, no!
Why is a freaky ass nigga? You're so freaky ass nigga.
What do you think you're doing?
Right after he's been more depressed than he's ever been in his entire life, everybody is helping him get over her. He snips the sweater, and it causes him to go on this big old journey to try to get the sweater back, and Rigby has to save him from doing this horrible thing. Rigby gets shoved out of the car after singing the Not Fine song, and Mordecai has to come to terms that he needs to get over Margaret all on his own after battling a Margaret sweater demon of all things.
How happy you'll be!
No! Rigby was right! I shouldn't be doing this! I need to get over Margaret!
And yeah, that should have been the end of it. Margaret should have went her own separate way, because the rest of season 5 was developing a relationship that actually seemed like it made sense. CJ and Mordecai, although CJ has her problems, Mordecai has her problems, they actually seemed like they belonged together a lot more than Margaret, because CJ actually had a character to go off of. There were so many good episodes throughout this entire season that just slow build their relationship, and yes, they're not my favorite episodes, that's for sure. I prefer the episodic, really good, just one-note stories battling a crazy monster at the end, but it works for me. They get together, it's smooth sailing from there. They have the episode Real Date, which I think is one of the best romance episodes in the entire series, if not the best romance episode in the series, where they go on a date, they fight a big couple corral villain, and at the end it seems like they have a sweet, wholesome relationship. And that's all I really needed, because after all this stuff with Margaret, after all the drama, after all the boyfriends, after everything that Margaret did to just not seem like she was good enough for Mordecai, CJ did everything opposite and genuinely seemed like a good person for Mordecai. So, what could possibly go wrong from there?
He can't get that book.
Are you addicted to video games? You may be owed a lot of money. If you played video games for at least 10 hours a week anytime in the past...
CJ did everything opposite and genuinely seemed like a good person for Mordecai. So, what could possibly go wrong from there?
I think this is what you said. This is what made everybody hate Margaret. For those of y'all who don't know what happens here, basically she comes back and fucks up the whole relationship this nigga had with CJ. This man was trying to balance his life with CJ, and basically still was feeding old Margaret. Margaret. That's how bad this guy. This damn roach is making me mad. I missed y'all. I ain't missed that time.
The return of Margaret was probably one of the worst things that the series ever did, especially because season 6 is looked at to be one of the worst seasons in the entire show. And it's mainly because of everything that is caused by her return. Yes.
Season 6. And I'm gonna say this again, just like you said, was depicted as the worst because the fact that Margaret came back during the fact that this nigga already had a girl, and she was being like one of those girls in school that you get that you don't show attention to, and all of a sudden she gives you all her attention because you're showing that attention to somebody else. Dog, that was the dumbest shit I have ever fucking seen. Ever heard too. It was so stupid. Why are you messing with this man if you know he already has a relationship? And I know it was the animator's fault because they made it like this. But dog, that was so dumb. And this was a kid's show too. And you as a kid have to feel the heartache this man goes through at the fact of even after the thing with CJ, this chick still ends up not giving this nigga no chance and leaves again.
A lot of it is Mordecai's fault, but it just didn't need to happen. Margaret should have left the show, should have went to another city, should have done something else, and we could have avoided this entire thing, or they could have handled it a lot better. Because while we were watching characters like Muscle Man, Rigby, Skips, Pops, get all of this, like, Margaret should have left the show, should have went to another city, should have done something else, and we could have avoided
Oh, that Skip said his girl. I was confused
this entire thing, or they could have handled it a lot better. Because while we were watching characters like Muscle Man, Rigby, Skips, Pops, get all of this like character changing moments, Benson going from one of the most hated characters in the entire series to just uncovering everything about him and learning how good of a boss he could be, all of these characters were growing. Mordecai was in a good, healthy relationship. Was he growing as a character? Not really, but hey, I mean, he got a girl who actually seems to care about him, who actually has interests, but then Margaret comes back. And the first episode that she is back is Merry Christmas, Mordecai. And this is where they just decided to kill Mordecai's character for this bird that still hasn't given me an interest of some sort to make me relate to her or enjoy her as a character. She comes back and just becomes immediately my least favorite character in the entire show. Yay!
And dog, she knew this nigga was in a relationship too. Cause even when she after found out he was already with CJ, she showed no type of emotion over the fact of you already knew this nigga was in a relationship, yet you still proceeded to start fucking around with him, messing with his feelings, manipulating him, into still thinking y'all two was gonna end up back together. That's when he realized he still had feelings and had to force this man to basically leave a good relationship with a girl that he loved.
Because just, yes, it's all Mordecai's fault, but it's mainly Margaret's fault too. It's both of their faults combined, but the one time that she is back in town at this Christmas party, Margaret and Mordecai end up kissing each other. Mordecai is still dating CJ at the time. So I have to watch one of my most beloved main characters, Mordecai.
He basically cheated on his girl because she did this. This was real.
Kiss his ex-girlfriend, who I do not care about even remotely in the series so far.
No! Oh my god.
It just is so horrible to watch. Something like this on...
And I think real quickly, she knew this nigga had a girl. Yo, I tell you, she knew this nigga had a girl. She knew, dog. She knew and still proceeded to cheat on him. She already knew this man had a girl and still hugged this man. And let him lean in and kiss her instead of telling him, nah, dude, you have a girlfriend. And basically, like, shut that whole thing. She should have shut that whole thing down. But you let her do this, dog? And
especially in a show like this where normally it's just supposed to be good fun, giving me laughs, and you could say this adds a depth to it, a layer of reality to it. It's trying to show to teens and kids what real relationships are like. It's rocky, it's all this stuff, but I don't enjoy it.
Even said, Mordecai, you need to find your own, fix your own priorities. You can't have a relationship with one person and then your heart still belongs to the other person. That's what made everybody realize how CJ was so much more mature than this nigga Mordecai. Dog, that relationship with y'all should have ended the moment she went to college. Because you knew a person in college and a person who isn't in college wasn't going to last. Especially if y'all multiple cities apart from each other. So, at some point, you should have known the love between y'all was over the minute y'all two ended up breaking up. That should have been like a done set deal. That should have been over and done with. But you still proceeded to basically mess with me. Yeah, you have a green shirt right there. And nothing happened. Look at
That's because it's upside down, like inside out.
it. Still won't fix nothing. That's right. It's what happened with a green shirt. It seemed like a green screen happened. Nothing happened. But still, that's just the dumbest thing ever made humanly possible. I swear it was so dumb.
Just because you're trying to be realistic and trying to show me something, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see a character like Mordecai cheat on his girlfriend with somebody who has shown me that they are just not a good character, and if that, they are a bad person. And that just, exemplifies that. Margaret coming back, and the first thing she's doing is attempting to hang out with Mordecai in this one scene, trying to figure out what's wrong. And they're both adults. They can control themselves. Mordecai's 26. Margaret's probably 26. They can control themselves. They both initiated the kiss. They both knew what they were doing. And yes, does it make me hate Mordecai a little bit? But Margaret coming back after being gone for a season and kissing Mordecai right away, that makes me despise Margaret.
That was so
gone for a season and kissing Mordecai right away, that makes me despise Margaret. And people will always defend me demonizing her. They will always defend the fact that I demonize Margaret because she's not that bad. She's just a realistic example of a relationship. No, man. No. It's so much worse than that. She comes back after being gone for 40 episodes, and the one time that she is back, she helps Mordecai to cheat on her girlfriend. And then you think, okay, maybe it's gonna get a little bit better after this. But it doesn't. It doesn't get better at all, because then we go to episodes like 1000th Chopper Flight Party, where the episode just exists to make CJ look like a villain because Mordecai is hanging out with Margaret, the girl that he just cheated on his girlfriend with, and it looks so horrible because they're laughing up in the helicopter, so of course CJ is going to view that as a bad thing and turn into a giant cloud monster.
Oh, come on! Did you think I wouldn't find out? That you could just make a fool of me forever? This is the last time!
Okay, great. Now to the majority of the audience, CJ also looks like a overreacting, evil, horrible person. Great. Now Mordecai sucks, Margaret sucks, and CJ sucks. That's awesome. I'm so glad Margaret came back to the show. And then you go to Not a Great Double Date, because in 1000th Chopper Flight Party, Margaret said that she had a boyfriend to try to stop CJ, and instead of, coming clean about it, she decides to do this entire plan of hiring Rigby to write this entire script and Dale Hanlon, a news reporter, so that she could fake having a boyfriend instead of just saying over the phone that it was a misunderstanding. She just dives really deep into it, and then at the end of this episode, when she can't kiss Dale because she doesn't like him, she reveals that she still has feelings for Mordecai.
You're single? You dated Mordecai for a while, and you keep trying to hang out with him, even though you don't have to, because it's not like you kept in touch with him after you left.
Great. That's awesome. I'm so glad, which leads to...
Oh, CJ let off. She said facts. Girl, you had no reason to basically come back and start messing with him. CJ let that fly like dog. But you are single, for one. You can have any guy you want to see. Because you were beautiful. She did the constant hang out with Mordecai, even though you didn't call him or text him or none of that stuff while you were away. Not only that, you knew he was in a relationship, still proceeded to kiss him, still proceeded to bring him on stuff that you knew must mess up his relationship. Then try to demonize CJ or the fact of you fucked up everything in their relationship. And to the point of CJ could take it one and basically just broke off Mordecai. You are the most evil bitch I have ever seen in my life. I swear to God, you need to get help. And whoever made her and designed her character is crazy.
Mordecai and CJ breaking up, all because of all of this drama with Margaret. So yeah, that was Margaret's time in season 6, you know, just coming back, wreaking havoc, wreaking more havoc, ending relationships, not showing any personality of her own, other than the fact that, again, she likes Mordecai. Again, just like I said, her entire personality is just intertwined.
She kept saying she liked Mordecai, right? In the end, she still doesn't end up with this nigga Mordecai. Fucking up his whole relationship with CJ. CJ was sitting right there in the crowd, and he ended up convincing the fact that yes, he still had feelings for this chick. And made this poor girl cry over the fact that she was being a fool, still pursuing him. And CJ actually had genuine feelings for this nigga. Genuine with sincere feelings. And he proceeded to cut their whole relationship because of the fact that he still had feelings for Margaret. That's the reason why he did it, because he still had feelings for Margaret. Instead of just letting it go, he couldn't deny the fact that his feelings for Margaret, and that's the part of she's the reason why he did that. And she don't want to admit to it. She's the reason why she was saying, oh, she got a boyfriend, stuff like that. That whole season was a fact of she still was with Margaret, with that nigga. She was still with him. She was still trying to get at him. Still in love with him. Faking a relationship just to make another person jealous or prove another person wrong. Only to turn around and basically confess the fact, yes, she still has feelings for Mordecai. So you go to college or university or whatever, come back, then expect the same person you left behind, then text, call, or nothing. For a full couple weeks, my guy, while he was with this girl, had her meet his mama and everything. And his mama even approved of her young parents actually liked Mordecai and approved of him, and you still broke off the relationship because you couldn't say, oh, let's do a long distance relationship or something, try to work that out. Nah, you just say, nah, let's not have it.
With the fact that Mordecai exists and she wants to be with Mordecai, she doesn't seem to do anything else, and that just really is not really enjoyable to watch. There's nothing good about that. What am I supposed to like about that? And Mordecai's character is just also dragged way down for me, because up until season 5, I thought he was great, you know?
Dog, I'm telling you, he kept building himself up to drag himself down whenever she was around. It was constant up and down whenever she was around, bro. Constant.
A big simp, albeit, but he was good. He was enjoyable to watch. And then season 6, probably the majority of them, they were like, I don't like Mordecai as much anymore. Yeah, and I can completely understand why. Probably the majority of them, they were like, I don't like Mordecai as much anymore. Yeah, and I can completely understand why.
The point of this basically was she wanted him, and the best part is their relationship was so shaky. Even though she and him should have ended it together, I'm glad the end this nigga ended up with somebody like that bad chick and they had kids. I'm so fucking glad them two did not end it. That would have been so fucking
So after
toxic.
all this nonsense, after all this drama, you'd probably think that it's leading to one big full circle moment for the main character Mordecai. You'd probably think that everything he's learned from all these relationships would play into him becoming a better character by the end. We watch Rigby go to high school, graduate, and become a better person. We watch all of our characters grow and change throughout the series. But Mordecai, he doesn't do any of that. He spends the first 4 seasons simping over a girl who could honestly just brush him off her shoulder. She leaves for a season, comes back, ruins his relationship, and then we get the episode Just Friends, which is supposed to be the pinnacle, ultimate finale episode for all of Mordecai's relationship nonsense, where they don't even do anything. They just decide that they want to take it easy on relationships right now and not be together. After the entire episode, Margaret wants to get with him until she sees the future.
With a full beard with this nigga. This man had a full beard and everything, sitting in his room, moping over the fact that she did, or what she did to him. Broke this nigga. Ruined his relationship. Then talked to him for years. Then they left him for weeks or months. Then after that, ruined his relationship. Then caused this man to have a mental break and sit his room alone until his friends had to force him to come out his room and start socializing. That was so fucking
with him,
sad.
yeah, doesn't even remotely paint either of them in a good light. It doesn't make anything feel like it's went full circle. It doesn't make anything feel like either of the characters have grown or learned anything about themselves throughout this entire journey. And yes, you could say it's regular show, it's not that deep, man, but when you have characters that are great examples of it being deep, of them becoming better people, of them changing, of them growing, then yeah, in this show there are many examples of characters becoming great, amazing people. Mordecai was a character who either stayed the same or regressed, and it was all because of Margaret. And Margaret, as the series went on, she was honestly just okay. Local news legend, I don't really enjoy that episode because it's just an episode about Margaret trying to get her own news segment. And again, it's just trying to give personality to a character that you had 5 seasons to build up, and you still did nothing with her. Especially after season 6. You're supposed to expect me to enjoy this episode in season 7, where after I just watched Margaret ruin Mordecai's relationship, help him cheat, help him destroy everything, then I'm supposed to just watch you and have a good time when you want your news segment. No, I don't care. All of your jokes suck. You're not funny. You're just a stupid red bird that has done nothing in the entire series to make me even remotely find you interesting. So yeah, all the other episodes you're in, you're fine. You just exist. You just exist to help your friends do random nonsense like go snow tubing. That's great, Margaret. I'm so happy you were a perfect introduction to the series, and you just did nothing. You did nothing. You had so much time to develop, and you did nothing.
What's the point of this chick? Oh yeah, they did. I hate her. Oh yeah, everybody hate her.
So there you have it. That's why I hate Margaret. She genuinely was just so 2D, so bland. She never had any moments to actually become a person in the show, except there was so much time to do that, which is why I wish J.G. Quintel, all of the creators, would have written her better. And yeah, that's me looking at it in hindsight. They were probably just having a good time making one of my favorite shows of all time, but, you know, it's just moments like these that I could reflect, and I could genuinely see the potential of her being a really good, interesting character. With how much time they spent on her, there were so many chances to make her interesting, to make her dreams known, to make her seem like a very cool person, somebody that you could root for. Because in the whole love triangle, I was always on CJ's side because CJ actually had a personality. Margaret never had anything going for her. Margaret never had any interests. Margaret always just felt like something to be attached to Mordecai, and that's why I could never separate her as a person, and especially in the love triangle, that's why I could never root for her, even though she was around for a lot longer than CJ. There was never anything that made me feel like Margaret was a good character. So that's why I hate Margaret. If you feel like I'm demonizing her in this video, you're damn right I am. I do not like Margaret. I haven't for a long time, and I will die on this hill, as she is one of regular show's worst characters. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe.
Hey, who else has got in there? Carlos or Carlos? But yeah, that's basically what it is. Why everybody hates this chick. I'm sorry to say, I'm not changing my opinion on it. I hate her with every soul and fiber of my being. This is why I don't like her as a character, bro. I hate her. I wish everybody else hated her too. What was the point of you coming back and ruining this man's relationship, bro? You had no reason to ruin his relationship. You came back for no reason, my nigga. You just came back to fuck with him. Like, there was no reason for that, dog. Anyway, y'all like the video, please subscribe. I'll catch y'all in the next video. I might make one about a few other characters or some other shows I'm probably watching. I hate some.